According to Simon Sinek, every single organization on the planet, and even our own individual selves, always function on 3 levels: what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. He calls this the golden circle. When all the layers are aligned, it gives us a filter through which to make decisions. It provides a foundation for innovation. And when all 3 layers are in balance, others will say, with absolute clarity and certainty, we know who you are. We know who and what you stand for. Whether they realize it or not, all great and inspiring leaders and organizations think, act, and communicate just like each other. But Simon says, it's also the complete opposite from what everyone else thinks. Every campus and district knows what they do. Well, these are the services we provide. Some school campuses and districts know how they do what they do. This value that differentiates them from others are the things that set us apart, the things we think make us special or different from everyone else. But very few people and organizations can clearly articulate why they do what they do. Why is a purpose? It's a cause or a belief. It provides a clear answer to why we get out of bed every day, why our school even exists, and why that should matter to anyone else. Of course, educators know money is not the why. Monetary measurements are simply results of what we do, but neither are titles and positions and power. The why inspires us to act. We naturally communicate from the outside in. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. We tell people what we do. We tell them how we're different or special, and then we expect a behavior like support for what we're teaching, or what will be on the test, or why our school should be your choice. But the problem is that what and how do not inspire action. Facts and figures make rational sense, but we don't make decisions purely based on facts and figures. That's why starting with what is how managers of products and widgets might operate, but starting with why is what leaders who work with people and great organizations do. Leaders inspire. Leaders and organizations with capacity inspire, think, act, and communicate from the inside out. These leaders start with why. When we communicate our purpose or our cause first, we communicate it in a way that drives decision-making and changes behavior. It literally taps the part of the brain that inspires behavior. This is not opinion, it's grounded in the facts and tenets of biology. If you were to look at a cross-section of the human brain, you can simplify this very complex organ into 3 major parts that correlate with Simon Sinek's model. Our neocortex. It corresponds with the what and how level. The neocortex is responsible for rational, analytical thinking and language. This section processes important content of faces, gestures, language, which is how something is communicated, while it also processes much of the objective content of language and what was said. But the middle 2 sections make up our limbic brain, which includes the brainstem and is the brain's principal regulator of emotion and memory. This section is responsible for much of responsible for much of our feelings like trust and loyalty. It's also responsible for human behavior, decision making, and it has no capacity for language. It's powerful enough to override both rational thought and responses. In short, we tend to strongly follow our feelings about why. When we communicate from the outside in, people can understand vast amounts of complicated information like facts and figures. It just doesn't drive behavior. When we communicate from the inside out, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that controls behavior and decision making, and then people rationalize their decisions with the neocortex, because it's always trying to understand and make sense of the world. This is the reason we think we're rational beings, when actually we're really not. If we were, we would never buy a product or a service simply because of how it makes us feel, but we do. We never would be loyal. We'd always just choose the best deal. And if we only acted from rational thought, we'd never care about trust. We'd only evaluate the numbers, but we don't do that. We do choose one product, one service, one school over another because we feel we can trust them more. We buy things that we think are worth extra money, even though all facts and figures may indicate there's really no significant difference. This is the reason we can say that people don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you do it. The what is simply a way to get tangible proof of what you believe. For Simon's golden circle to work, he says you must 1. Have clarity of why, 2. Discipline of how, and 3. Consistency of what you do. And for others to know why you do what you do, you've got to be clear. You've got to hold yourself and your people accountable to your values and your guiding principles. Everything that's said and everything that's done must really be as consistent as possible. I mean, we live in a tangible world, and the only way people will know what we believe is if we say and do what we believe. Again, people don't buy into what you do. They buy into why you do it. The golden circle is not just about communicating, though. It also provides some insights into how outstanding schools are organized. If we imagine the golden circle as a three-dimensional model, it's a top-down view of a cone, or we might say a megaphone. The megaphone represents a school, campus, or a district, which is an inherently organized system. At the top of the system, representing the why, is a leader. The next level down, the how, typically includes the leadership team, who's inspired by the vision, and they work to bring it to life. The what at the bottom of the cone are all those things the school says and does that breathe life into the why. They make it tangible. Though everything that we say and do, through everything, a school campus can clearly communicate its why to their community. People in the school are the marketing. The services and the products are only the proof of why. So, just like a megaphone for a message to spread, it must be loud and clear. Now, loud is easy. We just hold a pep rally or we buy a billboard. Clear is harder. When an organization is clear about its purpose or its why, everyone from employees to students to parents and community can understand. This clarity allows everyone who interacts with the organization to become champions of the cause. Ideally, this clarity starts at the top of the organization and moves through the company and inspires every person, every lesson. Service and marketing efforts that come out of the bottom of the megaphone are clear and loud. Because when everything you say and do echoes what you believe, you end up with a message that's loud and clear. And when you start your work from the why, you will be remarkable.